Now, say my name.
The Rolling Bad Podcast.
You're goddamn right.
Welcome to the Rolling Bad Podcast, episode number 37, coming to you from the desolate wastelands of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're recording on December 9th, and I am your host, Elric Edge, and with me are
Bill Costello
and James Tapia.
Tonight's show, we're going to do all our usual bits, talk about what's coming out and what we've been up to, and then for the meat of the show, we're going to talk a little narrative versus competitive.
That's never been done before.
Yeah, I know. It should be good. And also, what we hope Santa will leave under the tree, or Krampus, depending on, which side of the coin you're on, and what he'll leave under our tree for 2018. What we're hoping to see come out. So, yeah, let's do a show.
Okay. The Realm of the New Dawn, where we're going to talk about all the cool stuff coming out from Games Workshop this week and next week and in the future.
Yeah.
So this week, it was all Blood Angels all the time.
Yeah.
Unless you play Blood Bowl. And then you got Elven guys.
Yeah, the Elven Union. Yeah, which I thought was kind of interesting. Apparently all the elves are one team now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It looks like the Elven Union team, and they came out with new pitches and dice and an elf team and a star player, and I believe there's a Blood Bowl almanac, which kind of ties a bunch of stuff together.
Right on.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you're a Blood Bowler, there's something for you.
A ton of them out there.
But absolutely zero came out for Sigmar.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything came out at all.
It's the calm before the storm.
It is. I believe in my heart of hearts that next year will be
Sigmar. It
will bring balance to the Force. It's not going to be all Sigmar, but I think they'll go back to a more balanced sort of. Like I said, I don't begrudge them.
Sure.
Throwing everything at 40K for this year because that's what you do when you have a big major release. So, and we had it when we had our time in the sun. So, but hopefully 2018 will be more. But the Blood Angels did drop this week, and
yes, they did.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, I went a little whole hog on that one. So
I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to kind of check myself as well. I don't need more Marines.
Yeah, and I was so glad that I didn't build or paint my Marines from the first initial run, because I've always had it in my head that I was either going to do Raven Guard or Blood Angels.
Right.
And since the Raven Guard are cool, but they're never going to get a codex, and they're never going to be this cool. So it's definitely going to be a Blood Angels successor, not a... I have I hate to say this, but I have this 80-page fanfic doc of how my chapter got started and what it's all about. And it's total fanfic, it's 15-year-old stuff. It's a splinter of a Black Templar crusade gets mashed together with the remains of a failed Blood Angels successor chapter, and they become one chapter. So that way I could have both my favorite toys, in one army. And it's really funny, but I've edited it recently so that it's not as 15-year-old, stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty out there, because there's a chapter on how I got my Titan in there.
Oh my god.
So it's comical. But...
Hey, whatever works, I guess.
Yeah, it's fun. I just keep writing on it, and I don't plan to ever show it to anybody, because it's just for me to laugh at. So
yeah.
But I'll put it on the website one day, I guess.
Yeah, so I've been watching some battle reports on the new Blood Angels, and wow.
Yeah,
that red thirst is real.
And all the different, between the stratagems and their traits, they now play like Blood Angels, like you read in the fluff. They do what Blood Angels do.
Yeah.
So I think that is really well done. And it shows how they crafted flexibility into the system so that you can have two chapters next to each other, or two armies next to each other with the exact same build, and they're going to play completely differently on the table because of who they're descending, what chapter they're at.
Yeah.
So,
did we get anything else?
That really, New Dawn was kind of sparse. They had the big Necromunda release last week, so there's a little bit of a pause there. Orlocks are coming out
Yeah, they are. They look really good.
Is it before next week or is it after Xmas?
I would imagine it's going to be at least the week after, because next week is Dark Angels.
Right.
Well, no. Next week is the pre-order for Dark Angels.
Yeah, pre-order for Dark Angels, and then they'll drop just before Christmas.
They're not up today, are they?
No, they're up for order today.
Okay, so then they will drop next
So they
Saturday.
will, all the releases
and then I would
will drop.
imagine Orlocks. It'll be probably a fairly quiet week, because that'll be the week going into Christmas.
Yeah,
So.
and they're going to take their time off too. So
Right.
So yeah, it's going to be pretty quiet. But then God knows what January will bring.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
So in video game news, there's actually been some announcements. There is a new virtual reality game coming out.
That
I can't remember the name.
I don't remember the name of it either. It's the Betrayal at Calth.
Yeah.
That's the one they did on Independent Characters. Carl went and interviewed those guys.
Yeah. So
sounds amazing.
Yeah. Very cool. And then there is another game coming out by Slytherin, who did Sanctus Reach and Armageddon, the iOS game. And it's another hex-based strategy-looking game. And what's very cool about this one, I think, is that it's Space Marines, Imperial Guard, Orcs, and Necrons.
Yeah.
Are the 4 factions you get to play as.
What a mashup there.
Yeah, no chaos, which is
refreshing.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, well, and it opens it up for DLC.
Yeah.
That's fine. But to see something like Necrons in a base game is pretty cool. So it looks good. It's all PC stuff. So unfortunately, I'm a console gamer for now.
Yeah. Well, Slytherin has a really good reputation. I mean, I have a lot of their games that aren't, that aren't based in this stuff. They do regular war games. So they do really good stuff.
Yeah, I keep meaning to download that Armageddon on my iPad. Game. Yeah.
With you like an Imperial Guard, you should be all over that one.
Yeah, I know. And then I heard a rumor. Apparently, so Battlefleet Gothic is going to be coming out at some point. Maybe it'll be next year's tabletop game.
Right.
It's going to be set in the Horus Heresy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am so sad about that. So sad about that.
It is kind of annoying, but I don't know. It just makes you wonder.
Yeah. It'll probably just be like a one-off board game then. You'll get a handful of
you'll
just get a handful of the exact same ship and then just paint them.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get Space Marine ships and Space Marine ships and more Space Marine ships.
I don't know.
So I'm hoping that rumor is not true.
Yeah,
so much.
I don't think it's a rumor. I think it's been confirmed.
Has it really?
The Forge World Open Day, I think.
Well, I mean,
confirmed.
Talk about a limited run of what you can do. Why would you shoehorn yourself into a corner like that?
Because Forge World does Horus Heresy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's their shtick.
That's true. It's their
and the whole Adeptus Mechanicus thing, or Adeptus Titanicus game is apparently Horus Heresy too.
Yeah,
and it's just like I get it. It's popular. I want to read about the Horus Heresy and play 40K.
And play 40K, yeah.
Because I want to play Orcs. I want to play Eldar. I want to play these other...
all these other different
Necrons
factions.
and Tau. They're cool, man. And none of that stuff... It's just, I wonder if they feel... shooting Marines with bolters. Whee!
Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
Marine on Marine action. Yay!
But it's cool to read about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The stories are fantastic. And, you have the Horus Heresy tabletop game, and... if you want to play that, that's cool. But I don't know. I think there's just so much more to do in 40K than there is in 30K.
I wonder if they're taking the temperature of the crowd to see, if it will go.
Maybe.
So I don't know. I hope. Maybe. I would hope that they wake up from that delusion. But who knows?
We'll see.
Who knows?
Anything else?
We saw that weird Nurgle thing on Duncan's desk.
Oh, yeah. The Mini Wargaming guys did a pretty cool video.
I couldn't get over Duncan cowering in the corner.
Yeah, I know.
That was just awesome.
Great. Or Dave going around with his cheesy British accent.
Duncan.
And he did exactly what the rest of us would have done. He grabbed all that Forge World stuff and put it on my tab. Bye. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Who are you? Two thin coats. Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The hair? Yeah, I colored it.
But yeah, so apparently there was a new Nurgle model on his desk.
There
There's
was
like
indeed.
potentially a new Beast of Nurgle, which is pretty cool because that model definitely needs to be redone.
A little.
Along with the rules. But wait,
Yeah, well, you know. And then it looked like he was painting something that looked different too.
Mm-hmm.
Or well, pseudo paint. It was globbing paint on.
Globbing. Yeah, that
Two
thing
thick
he
coats.
was. Yeah, 2 thick coats. So
that's pretty cool. And the fact that it's a video on the Mini Wargaming channel,
Right.
not the Games Workshop channel.
Yeah.
And they got to show something new. That's huge for GW.
I think it really does go back to how they're trying to be so much more inclusive to the community. I mean, mini wargaming is like the other big giant but it's in this sphere.
Yeah.
So giving them something like that, a little reveal and a little something that's going to drive a crap ton of people to click on their video. I think that's a great deal. And that wasn't a mistake. That thing was sitting there on his desk by itself with nothing around it.
Yeah.
It was there for a reason.
I want to know what was in the box.
Yeah, it's...
What's in the box? Well, Jules, are we happy? Oh yeah, we're happy.
That's New Dawn. I mean, there's really not that.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of winding. I mean, I don't even want to say we're winding down because Blood Angels just dropped, Dark Angels are dropping, and then we know. Oh well, January will have Demons for 40K. We know that's coming out.
Demons for 40K, and you got to think Nurgle is going to be a dual release. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be.
Oh, for AOS?
Yeah, they might as well put something out for AOS as well. So
yeah,
hopefully they're ready to go with it.
Oh yeah, and if there's more Nurgle models on Duncan's desk, more chaos, more broken chaos. Anyways,
yeah,
let's
because now you can run a Nurgle Zinch army that has Destiny dice along with the inability to kill it because it's resilient. That's cool. Yay!
Can you? Can you ally with them?
Can I ally with Nurgle? No, they hate each other.
Because you can't do the marks.
Yeah, they hate each other. Yeah. Nurgle and Zinch.
You can't do the marks correctly. So.
I can't remember. I always get it mixed because I've been playing long enough that I remember when it used to be Zinch and Khorne that hated each other,
right?
And then Nurgle and Slaanesh, and now they've switched it.
Now they switched it up. Yeah. Now it's Khorne versus.
So I always get it mixed up.
Yep. Ho hum. Anyway, let's move on to creation.
All right. The realm of creation, where we're going to talk about what we've been up to in the hobby. I'll go first. Nothing. It's like T minus 2 or 3 days until we move or begin the move. So things have been kind of hectic. Plus, winter is finally here in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So when I get off work at like 2 a.m, it's too cold to prime.
Just a little.
So I need to wake up early before work one of these days, and when it's hopefully not too crazy, and go out and get these orcs primed up and ready, because I'm ready to paint some green, man.
Well, you can drop them off. I'll paint them. I'll prime them for you. So if you want, I'll just do it with the airbrush. So
yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna give the GW can another try.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna try, and then if I F this up, then I quit.
Just gonna play
video games the rest of my. No, I'm just kidding. No,
your commission paint.
This is exactly why I pay people to paint my armies. No, I'm just kidding.
I love it.
So yeah, hopefully I'll get them primed because, like I said, I'm pretty geeked about orcs. That game of 40K was a lot of fun.
It was. It really was. So
you guys.
I have actually had no productive hobby, unless you count purchases, trades, etc. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got...
Traded Ryan some Flesh Eater Cords for some Khorne Bloodbound.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got a pretty good deal. Like it. Ran a game with Jules, which I'll talk about later, but...
Nice.
Just put together so many models. And they're not brimstones that are like...
Yeah.
2 centimeters high. So, no, that's all I have. Not much. Bill?
I have 3 Yetis on the table. They're in like the 3rd base coat stage. So they're getting ready to go. They will see the table tonight. And then I have a unit of 10 puppies for the Beast Claw. Or, I'm sorry, Frost Sabers for the Beast Claw because I needed more of them than I had. So I grabbed them all out of that Icewind Assault box and based them all up and got them started. So they're in progress. They're in work.
Yeah, man. These Yetis are doing squats.
Yeah, they got guns. They got guns.
No, I'm talking about
The poses?
the huge ass on that Yeti. Like,
Well, and the poses on them are just terrible.
look at that. God, man.
When you consider
bounce a quarter off his ass. God. I ain't messing with those guys. They don't miss leg day.
No, they don't. And they're going to be super hard to base nicely because of the way the feet positions are.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I probably should have actually repositioned those feet before I started painting them.
Or glued them to a rock and then glued the rock down.
Well, that's those bases are just temporary because I have their real base. They're actually on bigger bases. They're supposed to be on 40s, and
all right.
Since I'm using the Citadel paint handles, I went with the smaller ones.
Fair enough.
So yeah, but they're coming. They're coming along.
So just Yetis, huh?
Yeah, Yetis, Frost Sabers, and
I
did a couple of other little things, but nothing that matters to this. I had to rebuild a bunch of Necrons from the Great Slobber Knocker debacle.
Collapse.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah.
But yeah, that was it for my creation.
How long do you have that? All your Blood Angels assembled?
It'll be a while because I need to concentrate on the orcs first.
Okay, I was going to say.
Although now that I've come to the realization of how these Primaris work, they might bubble up.
Yeah.
They might just bubble up to the top here pretty quick because they are not for the Woglords or anything because I want to do orcs for that, obviously.
Yeah.
But those they look cool, and Blood Angels they're easy to paint, but they're hard to paint well.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Marines are.
Yeah, exactly. They're super easy to paint, but to make them look good, you have to work at it. Yeah. And if I'm going to be spending that kind of time, I want to be doing it on the orcs so that we can put good games on the table.
Sure.
Well, that's all I had.
Yeah? No, not a lot of hobby. So
no, we should probably move on to battle because I think we all have something to talk about.
Yo.
All right, let's go to battle.
The round of battle, where we're going to talk about our games in the last week or so. Elric, what do you have?
Nothing.
What? We played 40K last weekend.
I thought we talked about it on the last show.
No, not even close.
No?
No.
Oh, no. Yes, we did.
We didn't. Trust me, I just edited the last show.
Oh.
I think I would know if we spoke about it.
Well, we played 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. No, we played last weekend. It was last Saturday night and Sunday
did.
morning.
Oh, my God. See, this is what working nights do.
I was going to say, you are off a week.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah, so we played both of our first game of 40K of the new 8th edition.
Sort of.
Well, you've tampered with it a little bit, but it was my first game. Played 75 power level, and we used the open
war cards?
Open war cards, which are fantastic.
Oh, God, that was fun.
Yeah, so good. That was a incredibly close game.
Yeah.
Because looking back on it, so it was a mission called the Comet. Beginning around 3, you roll a die for different areas of the table. The Comet comes down on one of those areas. If that had come down anywhere other than right in the middle of my army, I'm pretty sure you would have won. Yeah. I didn't really have any movement shenanigans left, and you still had the Veil of Darkness to put 20 Necron warriors wherever you wanted. But yeah, man, that was the new edition hits, man.
It was just so crazy fun. And of course, we played it on the day Chapter Proof came out, so we both got to use
new little toys.
The new orc stuff, and I used the new Necron stuff. So that really, I think, made a big impact in how the game went.
Absolutely, yeah, because if you didn't have the Veil of Darkness, that would have been...
It would have been game when the Comet came down.
Yeah.
Because I could not have fought my way through the middle of your army, because by that time my Ghost Ark was dead. Yeah.
Whereas if I didn't have Daka with my tank bustas, I probably wouldn't have killed
my Doomsday Ark.
Your Doomsday Ark, and you probably would have done way more damage to my army. So, yeah, it was pretty good, man. A lot of fun. Really close game. Good times. Looking forward to more.
Yeah.
But that's the only game I played.
Yep,
and tonight, here, after we're done recording, we're going to smash it up Iron Jaws versus Beastclaw Raiders with some more open play.
Open war cards.
Open war cards
for Sigmar. Give that a shot. See what it looks like.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
You guys?
That was my game. So
I had a quick game with Jules for my new Bloodbound army.
So you are playing Bloodbound?
I just wanted to put it on the table.
Okay.
It's not painted or anything, but it was Bloodbound, but it landed up being 15 Blood Knights and 30 Corn, or 15 Corn Knights and 30 Corn Chaos Warriors. So it wasn't much Bloodbound, but
fair enough.
Because I think that's actually, I just saw that on Twitter too. Someone else was playing a lot of Chaos Knights with Sail. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's a thing now.
Could be. They're pretty resilient. I like the idea of using the Glotkin, casting Fleshy Abundance on them, so they're all 4 wounds a pop.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty tasty.
Yeah, if you can, I mean, if anyone doesn't know the combo, it's Sail, Chaos Knights, and then the Chaos Lord on a demonic mount with a sorcerer. You get them pretty mean.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're teleporting 9 inches away. You get an 8-inch charge with a reroll.
Yeah.
Hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. Wounding on 3s, rerolling 1s. Rerolling 1s to your armor save.
Damn.
And you're doing rend 1, 2 damage apiece with like 2 or 3 attacks apiece. So, not too bad.
That's presentable.
Yeah. So, played that one against the Stormcast. And then I just had, this last week, a game against Stormcast with my Zinch. Played Knife to the Heart.
Ooh.
Very, very cagey game. But
Nice.
learned some stuff. I think I used my battle journal to write down. I'll have to check what I wrote down. But it was some...
Notes?
it helped me learn. I think I'm going to play... I don't know. I think I'm going to play Zinch the rest of the year. I'm very tempted to.
Yeah.
Why
At
would
least until something more broken comes in.
Well, I think I've been switching armies like every 6 months or something like that recently. And
Yeah, actually you have
it's
been.
kind of nice to just play one thing consistently and get good with it.
Yep. Well, they say that's how you get crazy good is just keep playing the same list.
Mm-hmm. But that's all I have. And then tomorrow here in Albuquerque, we're doing a Toys for Tots thing for 40K. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I have to hand it to the 40K community here in Albuquerque. They do a lot of charity-style tournaments, which is pretty cool. So,
Always a good thing.
but yeah, I think that's it for gaming, too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's probably going to get a little dry over the next few weeks. due to
Yeah,
the
with the holidays and you moving and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
but
it'll be tough. All right, so let's kick off into the lore segment. The realm of lore. Where we're going to talk about a few different subjects, but I want to start off with something. I made a blog post earlier today about the battle journal for both AOS and 40K. And I just want to touch on this real quick. And the basic point I was making is maybe not thumb your nose up at this thing so much. If you're one of those quality players that's bad-mouthing it because you're a quality player and you don't have anything left to learn because you're good at it, take pity on those of us that aren't good and have to write stuff down.
yeah, I was thinking about this for a minute, and I like it. I like the journal because at the end of our game, I took some pretty in-depth notes I wrote down. Because what I want to do is write down units and watch their actual progression over games and have real comparisons as opposed to how I kind of remember them doing.
Anecdotal memories.
Yeah. So the Death Dread and the Ludas were two things that I was like, well, I don't know if these are really that good, but I'm going to continue to take them.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually have a comparison to make it, after 5 or 6 games to see, do they really pull their own weight or do what they're supposed to do?
Yep.
Or is it that I had one game where they were absolute garbage and that in my memory is the one game that that
it's coloring
stood out to me.
Yeah.
Or, did I have that one game where they were amazing and they took off like half an army? And so, of course, I'm just going to keep taking them,
No matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gives you, a hard copy of that kind of stuff. I like it.
Yeah, plus it's good for in-game management too.
Yeah, that too.
Keeping track of, in AOS, you're keeping track of those of who's going first, what turn it is, instead of you having to use a dice or whatever. You're keeping track of your one-use items that you've used or haven't used.
Yeah. Command points in 40K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because occasionally you'll use a dice for it, but then you knock over that dice, you pick it up, you're like, was I on 10? Was I on 11? What do I have left?
Yep.
It's great for in-game management at the time.
Sure.
Besides just keeping a record of stuff.
And the thing is the best time to write stuff down is during and after the game when it's fresh in your memory, not 3 days after the tournament's over. You're trying to remember, who did I play? I don't remember. What did I do?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, and it's a thing for those of us that aren't that great.
Well, not even
I
that.
use it to just remember what I screwed up.
Ben Curry talks about using
Exactly.
in fact, a lot of the UK AOS guys do, and those guys are all, I would assume, good.
Yeah, generally speaking. They win events and stuff.
I have to go over there and...
You're trying to drag me into this, aren't you?
Well, I hear some of them are going to be LVO, so we'll find out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or Acon.
Yep.
So, chance to put your money where your mouth is.
There you go. So anyway, that's my little rant about the battle journals are cool. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Okay, anyway.
Leave Brittany alone.
I love it so. All right, so before we get into our Christmas wish list, we were going to talk about narrative and competitive gaming, not narrative versus competitive.
I thought it was versus. It was one or the other. You have to pick one or the other.
One camp or the other.
Yeah.
And shut up if you're not in it. Yeah.
Okay.
I
thought that's how it worked. So, we've been pitching this idea around, and one of the big things is competitive and narrative mutually exclusive. But can you only be one or the other? And I guess really we have to talk about, like, what is it to be competitive and what is it to be narrative driven, So in your mind, what is it to be narrative driven?
Well, it goes back to that, what is a casual gamer?
Okay.
Is a casual gamer the guy that just goes to tournaments once every, few months and does really well? Does that not make him a pretty good competitive gamer? Or is he still considered casual because he doesn't show up at the game store on Friday nights or whatever night?
Yeah.
It is. So, to me, the narrative folks, and I hate to use this because it's trying to put gamers in a box and we're too small of a community to have many boxes anyway. The narrative guy is the guy that goes and doesn't want to play the beat face lists. He doesn't want to see the latest net list and the latest power book, and he doesn't want to run across that stuff. He wants to build a fluffy army that's thematic and scratches an itch that person has, and he wants to fight against the same kind of thing.
So, in your mind, a narrative player is not competitive.
But that's just it, is that same person a lot of times can flip around and play in a tournament environment just fine and be happy. But there are some that won't. They will not get into a competitive environment because they view it as something evil. And that's, I don't know, I don't mind doing both things. I love going to tournaments and testing my skills against other people. But I know that I'm not going to be heading up for the top tables. I know I'm not there. I'm not that guy.
Not with that attitude.
Well, I don't want to be that guy either. I don't want to.
It's time to stop caring if your opponent has fun and start winning, Bill.
I should. But see, that's the whole thing is I just can't. I don't invest enough of my own self-fulfillment needs in winning a game with plastic army men. I don't see it as, I don't need it to prove to myself that I'm okay in some way.
Okay. Well, so one issue that I find I have is with people who claim to be like narrative gamers is I feel like a lot of times they use it as an excuse to not actually try at the game.
Right.
Or they'll use it as an excuse for like when somebody brings a army that they feel like they can't beat or play against. So they'll say like, oh, well, he's just a hyper competitive guy and he doesn't appreciate the narrative. And that's all I want to do is I just want to play the narrative.
Right.
And, so that's why, and I don't care. And it's like, well, obviously you care to some extent because you bought an army, you painted it and you put it on the table. Mm-hmm. So there's an aspect of you that cares enough about this game to get to that point.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I think it's just an excuse that people will use because they don't want to try to get better at the game.
Yeah.
And that's not me like calling out narrative play. I would consider myself I don't consider, to use a Tommy Lauren line, I'm a millennial. I don't use labels.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
That was cool. I like that.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to consider myself a competitive or a narrative because I like both.
Right.
And I like to have some narrative in my competitive stuff and I like to have obviously I'm competing even in narrative because we're playing a game where we're playing against each other.
And that's
win.
it. Is everybody likes to win, I think. I mean, why would you pick up a set of dice and put your guys on the table if you don't want to win? Now, if I just want to tell a story, we wouldn't need dice. We would just move around and go, okay, those 3 guys are dead because the swords hit them.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't go through all that rigmarole of the rules. We would just film.
I mean, you're obviously trying to tell a different story with the narrative, but still one side is trying to win the battle. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like there's extremes on both sides that, well, it's like with anything. Anytime you have 2 different opinions on one thing, and then people that are on the most extremes always seem to have the loudest voices and create issues where there doesn't need to be issues. I also feel like if you're going to like a tournament and it's a tournament, be ready to play in a tournament.
Well, and I think we've brought that out so many times. We've talked about this. If you are a narrative person, and I consider myself to be more narrative than competitive, but if I go to a tournament, I try to play as hard as I can because I owe it to that other person who also paid to be there and who's gone there to play in a tournament. Now, you're always going to talk to the person before the game, and you're always going to bring up the idea of, I mean, at least I do. I always ask, what are you looking to be at the top tables here soon? I'm not going to throw the game. If somebody says, yeah, I'm aiming for the top table, I'm not going to throw the game just so they can win and move on. But I'd like to know, because if you start getting really salty about things that are happening, I will then understand that you're putting yourself under a lot of pressure to win. So I will at least modify the way I talk to you and the way I do things. And I will, again, with the slow play thing, speed up, make sure that we get all 5 turns in, because that person wants 5 turns of this game.
Yeah.
They want to get maxed out battle points. They want to do all this other stuff. I'm going to fight as hard as I can. If we're both sitting at the table and we're, at table 265 out of 266 on the last day of the tournament, I don't think we're playing for the win. I really don't think
win that wooden spoon.
Yeah, well, that's true. I'll club you in the head with that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I'll be trying to lose. So, yeah.
Now, conversely, if you're going to a narrative event, understand that it's a narrative event.
Yeah.
And try to embrace it. I mean, maybe not take at 500 points a chicken and 2 units of horrors.
Yeah.
Or not snakes. That anybody would snakes. Do that.
12 snakes?
Yeah, or 12 snakes. Yeah. Or just saying. There's a flip side to it.
Yes.
And not everybody can just fall out of a portal. All right?
Appropriately.
Maybe embrace the spirit of the event. That doesn't mean don't bring a good thing. That doesn't mean, I'm just going to bring 60 Griffhounds because if I bring anything more than that, I'll be super competitive and nobody will enjoy. No, bring stuff that you're going to have fun playing. But, if it's something where you have to come up with a background and you have to name your characters or, it's encouraged, then understand that because that's the spirit of the event.
Right. And,
embrace it. Don't just use it as yet another attempt to test out your tournament list. Maybe. Not saying, just saying. You know what I'm saying, James?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know we've used the N-word quite a bit here in the narrative. It's that offensive to you, James. It's your N-word.
Oh, that look on your face was well, you're not going to say it.
No. But how do you feel about what we're saying about narrative? Do you think you could ever embrace the narrative? What am I saying?
Personally? No.
No? God. You couldn't, come up with...
This is not my...
No?
This is not my thing.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to dislike anyone because it is their thing.
Right.
It's your game, your hobby. You do what you want to do. I do what I want to do.
That's right. If you just happen to get paired up against me in a narrative event, be ready to the story. The narrative here is I'm going to whip that ass. Right? Is that the narrative?
Yes.
See, at least he doesn't try to hide it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true.
We're all sitting here talking about Shadespire, and James is like, yeah, whatever. Go ahead and play your little card games. That's fun.
Which is crazy, because it's supposed to be their competitive game.
Yeah.
You'd think that James would be like, competitive? Huh? What? Wait, I can make people cry? If I roll 5s and 6s? Yeah, what?
That's what it is. There's no 5s and 6s.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. There you go, Games
Haven't
Workshop.
found a pair of weighted Shadespire dice yet.
God. There it is. It's recorded.
Yes.
It's recorded. Weighted dice. I knew it. I knew it. I've been hitting at it for years. I've been microwaving those rolling bad dice, haven't you? Son of a...
Anyway, getting back on track.
Yeah.
I think what our big take from this is not so much, we don't have a big enough hobby to split ourselves into camps. One thing I've always noticed about miniatures hobbies is we do split up into camps. We have War Machine players over there. We have 40K players over here, and we have Sigmar players over here. And then in the dark closet corner, we have the 9th Age and Kings of War guys, but they're just...
I wouldn't.
They're pooping on each other.
I wouldn't
anyway.
lump those guys in together.
You're right. They're not even miniatures guys. So,
Kings, I have respect for Kings of War players. That's fine. It's the 9th Age players that can.
okay. And I'm just kidding. I'm not that way. But
sure.
We and then even within our own game systems, we split up and we say, oh, well, he's a narrative guy. Well, he's a fluffy guy. And, honestly, there is none of that. I've never gone to a convention where there's bunches of game systems and walked by a bunch of people playing Drop Zone Commander and said, what a bunch of noobs. Why don't you play a real game?
Never done that?
Well, I have, but not out loud. No, I haven't, and I won't because I play Drop Zone Commander.
Noob.
But the whole thing, the idea that we split up and we split our game even with us, we do it. We have the Rolling Bad Rumble, which we call competitive, and then we try to have a narrative event now and then.
That's different, though, as opposed, because we're trying to cater to different play styles.
That's right.
I think what we're talking about here is like people who staunchly feel that they're in one camp and don't want to compromise towards the other side, which is and we're pointing out how silly that is because it's all the same, I guess.
Mm-hmm. We're playing the same game, and there's been this talk about should you use points in narrative gaming? Should you use match play points in narrative gaming? And the answer to that is if you want to, yeah. But it does give you a good framework to make sure the sides are even. But if your narrative, if the story you're telling that day happens to be something on the order of the Battle of Thermopylae, you're only going to have 300 guys on one side and 10,000 on the other, which would be kind of hard to paint, but you know what I mean? You are going to have a difference. If you're doing a siege, there's going to be a different number of forces on a side. If you're doing a pursuit type scenario, there will be differences. So maybe you don't use points, or maybe you use points and you give one person 3,000 and the other person 2,000. But at least you have a framework, a reference.
Yeah. I guess we're just trying to say that we're all one big happy family and that we should.
Can't we just hug it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for those open play people.
Oh, God, forget that.
A bunch of flipping weirdos.
Losers.
Who plays open play?
9th Age guys.
Oh, man. God.
I am, and the thing is I don't know a single 9th Age or Kings of War player. So this vitriol that I spill is just nothing more than me being a jerk.
I know one guy who plays 9th Age and he's super nice.
Okay, see, yeah. So, I literally, this is all just me being a jerk. So please don't take this to heart. So, I guess what we're really trying to convey, I don't know if I'll sum it up well, is that we really don't think there should be even a discussion about narrative versus competitive play.
Well, don't pigeonhole yourself.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're somebody like James who very clearly only enjoys the game one way, that's fine. There's nothing, and there's nothing wrong with being somebody who, I guess, would be like the flip side to James, where they only like to play story battles and stuff like that. That's fine. I guess maybe not throw stones at the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to an event, understand what the event is.
Yeah.
If you're going to take the time to go to an event, then maybe embrace it.
Yeah, and be careful before you call someone a whacker or, a win-at-all-cost type.
Yeah.
Just because the person's playing the game their way doesn't make them the enemy.
Unless they're playing Zinch.
Well, if they play Zinch, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Wow, is this like Pick on James lore?
Yeah.
I am playing Zinch, so.
Yeah. It's all right.
Comes with the territory.
Yeah.
True. You have it coming.
Your pink and purple trees. So, I guess what we want to roll into next is what we hope Santa leaves under the tree.
Yeah.
For the next year.
Jingle
what we're
bells,
hoping to
Santa
see.
Smells.
Yeah.
Okay. That kind of thing.
So, what are you guys hoping to see? I don't want to just hold this to Age of Sigmar. What are you hoping to see from Games Workshop in 2018?
Or Stormcast release?
Oh my god.
Now, James, you're trolling.
I don't think we have enough chaos either.
Huh?
I don't think we have enough chaos armies either.
Yeah.
He's so mean.
All right. Well, this is productive.
Slanesh hasn't got any love. Come on.
Yeah, they don't need it. In
Well-
the back pocket, hopefully they squash Slanesh.
I don't know. It's a hard one to redo, even. Man.
Yep. Bye-bye, Slanesh.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but
Oh.
maybe the Emperor will go become the fourth Chaos God.
Yeah.
And Sanguinius can come back and take his chair.
Hey?
Dun 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 dun. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be the greatest thing, to see Slanesh get squashed out of AOS and then watch Fulgrim get chopped into little bits because he's the worst Primarch ever.
Oh.
And then you just get Zinch, or is it Slanesh? God, that's how bad Zinch is in my head. I'm comparing it to Slanesh. Yeah, you just get Slanesh out of both games. Boom.
Yep.
Sorted. Done.
Okay. Drop the mic.
Yay. Anyways,
you know what I'd like to see next year?
what's that? I would like to know. That was the original question. That's what I'm asking you, Bill. When we started this bit, I was like, what do we want to see in 2018? So when you ask me, do you want to know what I want to see? Obviously, I want to know what you want to see because I asked, what do you want to see? So what do you want to see, Bill? Lay it on me. Lay it out there, buddy.
I forgot.
You wrote it down in your battle journal.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Should have wrote it down. I want to see a completely new race for AOS that never existed in the old world, was never thought of, and shakes up the landscape to a degree that is impactful to the game and the meta, without just being you have to play this faction because they're the only ones that win.
So like a step beyond Quadrant Overlords.
Yeah.
Where they took like an old race but gave it a completely
it's just
new
dwarves
feel.
with diving suits on. So
let's not get all right.
It's just squats with diving suits. Come on. And airbags. They have airbags. Okay, great. Wow. That is so cool.
Man, this is a salty ass episode.
I do love the KO. I wish I could collect. I mean, I really wish I could do them because they are so cool. But no,
Well,
not for me.
If you wait for Ryan's first tournament,
Yeah.
Yep. I know
True,
somebody
I am.
who's going to be selling KO cheap.
I know. That's why when he talked about his color scheme, I wanted to make a couple comments, and I was like, "No, Bill, don't do that. Don't poke the bear."
Yeah. No, Ryan, that's not the color scheme I would like. I mean,
If you
that
want
you should
top
go
dollar,
with.
if you want top dollar from me, they'll be this way.
Yeah. Aye.
Have you ever heard of Barrett Zilfin? I'm just asking.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. I can't even imagine where you would start, where you'd get the inspiration from. Because I've thought about like existing armies, how they could reskin them basically so that it looks more like AOS, like what you could do with goblins or Skaven, stuff like that. But as far as like a whole new race, man.
I've heard people banding about like sea elves, elves that are going to be boat faring types. And I'm like, no, how about like a race of, cat people, Aslan or something, just completely that you have never done before that have no basis.
Is this your furry side coming through?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
trying
we're
to
done
fulfill
with
some
plushies.
fantasies here. Yeah.
I've had the plushies, and I don't like them. They don't play well. So let's go furries.
God.
So,
What are we doing?
yeah, we went off the rails about an hour
no.
ago. I'm in a spaghetti coma. So.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I mean, just something so that there's a reason, a method to my madness, and it is I had never played fantasy before Age of Sigmar. So having all the old races redone is great. And I don't begrudge it at all. It needs to be done so that people that have those armies can play them and have fun. But give people that have never been exposed to that world a place where they can start off and not be on the back foot. Because, as it is right now, when you bring out X race of elves, the baggage that comes with that is, oh yeah, you remember when that character did this and this and this and this? And I go, no, I really don't. I didn't care. It was dumb. So, but if you have something completely new, then new people jumping into the game can jump into something and there's nobody that's ahead of them in the curve.
Like
the
Tau
curve.
for 40K.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
they came out of
totally
nowhere.
new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So-
would be. I would go a step further and suggest that they do that for either destruction or death,
Yeah.
because I think that would
Oh, that would be a big
totally. Because those are two factions that are very pigeonholed into
yes.
what they can be. Destruction is greenskins.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's ogres to an extent too, but it's basically orcs and goblins.
Mhm.
And so it seems like if there's going to be anything that comes out for destruction, it's going to be some flavor of that.
Yeah.
Which, I'm okay with as well. Like, I think the sky is the limit, figuratively and literally,
Yeah.
in AOS with goblins.
Right.
They could do, I forget what they're called, but there's like a whole race of sky
Yeah.
goblins.
But the
I don't remember what they're called. Slips my mind. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Like, and that would look incredible.
Yeah.
A bunch of haphazardly built dirigibles, floating around,
Yeah.
doing crazy stuff. Yeah. But with like death, they're also pigeonholed into like vampires, ghosts, skeletons, ghouls. It's
not
like,
a lot of places you can go there.
Yeah. What if,
Werewolves.
yeah, but even then, I don't know.
Yeah,
This is why they get paid money and we're just a couple idiots recording in a room somewhere.
Yeah.
But, those are the two factions. I would love to see something completely new for either one of those factions that just totally... Because I think...
cat people that ignore magic would be, screw you,
what
Zinch.
are you on about cat people?
It's that furry thing.
Oh, God. Anyways, to continue down the road of the Quadrant Overlords, that look, that feel, that AOS feel that is that army, that would be incredible. So okay. Is there anything else you want to see? Because that was, AOS centric. Is there anything else you want to see from Games Workshop that hasn't been confirmed? I know you're super hyped about Adeptus Titanicus coming out.
Yeah.
And, we're hopefully going to see that this year. Maybe Battlefleet Gothic.
Yep.
Or both. Who knows? But
it's, I hate to say it, and it sounds like such a little fanboy thing, but they have had so very few misses lately that I'm looking forward to whatever they come out with, because they've really been hitting almost everything almost everything. There's been some notable misses, but the things they are doing are just so engaging to so many people, and it's refreshing to see the hobby reinvigorated the way it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hate to say, sound all fanboy and all that stuff, but everybody knows I am. So I think if they come out with cool stuff, which I'm sure they will, shake up the world.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Anything else? Serious answer, James?
Looking for, you know what? Their stock price could do better next year.
Yeah. I would like to see bigger dividends.
Yeah. Your Bitcoin isn't coming through as well as you'd hoped.
Dude, they hacked my Bitcoin.
Well,
Can you believe that?
He deserved it.
Why?
Because Bitcoin.
Oh, it's your socialist nirvana.
Yeah?
Yeah, a currency that isn't controlled by any government, you should be all over it.
Well,
So, flat earther.
Bitcoins don't have Karl Marx on the front, so they don't. Anyway, that's a rabbit hole we don't want to go
we're
down.
not going down. Oh my god.
Okay, so for me,
What do you want to see?
what do I want to see? well, I mean, we touched on it. I would love to see a new race. Death or destruction.
Yes.
No. Death and destruction.
Yes.
Getting significant amounts of love in 2018 would be incredible. Enough of the order, enough of the chaos. If you want to drop a Nurgle book, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. Tie it all together. And if you want to update the Beast of Nurgle,
Yeah.
you know, that's cool. That Nurgle is not my aesthetic, but the stuff they've been putting out for Nurgle looks so good. It's so well done. Like, so I don't mind seeing a little bit more ooze out for that.
Yeah, I saw what you did there. Yeah.
Disappointed in myself. For the rest, for AOS, audiobooks. Maybe you go back to making audiobooks for Age of Sigmar, please.
Yes. Please.
We're definitely going to try to ramp up our AOS reading stuff for next year like we did for the giveaway. And then overall, Orcs, 40K, getting a codex.
A codex, yeah.
I'm very nervous about that.
Necrons, yeah.
I don't care about Necrons, but
The way they've been knocking these codexes out.
I know. I know, but I've been an Orc player for almost 20 years. I've seen the not highs ever and a lot of lows, man. Yeah. I've seen them come out with crazy codex after crazy codex and then Orcs drop and it's like, what? Like maybe an invulnerable save for a character.
No.
Maybe a little bit of survivability. It'd be nice to have an Orc war boss actually feel like an Orc war boss.
Nah.
That'd be cool, bro.
They're a dime a dozen.
Ugh. Sure, like Chaos Lords. But yeah, I'm definitely hyped about that. Maybe some new Orc models. Yeah. I think that's some serious wish listing. But the Orc Codex.
Yeah.
Stop it. Oh, and video games. Anything. I mean, I think that's so cool how GW is branching out with more of the video game stuff.
How about an AOS video game?
Yeah.
That isn't.
I really like Warhammer Quest 2, but it's not AOS.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm there too. Like I'm done. I don't even know because I'm planning on getting a top end PC here soon. I don't even know if I'd want to go back and play Warhammer Quest Warhammer Total War. Yeah, just because it's
in the old world.
I'm just done. I'm done with the old world. I've moved on. Okay, I don't need to stalk my ex on Facebook. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like just
yeah, but that's the court order.
I don't need to. I'm ready to move on and have like a Skyrim style game in the Mortal Realms, maybe.
That would be awesome.
That would be incredible. Anyways, yeah, I think those are the things I'm hoping for.
James?
I know the big one.
Okay.
A 40K app.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
An Azir type.
It is. Or
scroll builder.
I could have sworn they said, like, on their Facebook or at Twitch at some point, they said they were going to do it.
It is like the big glaring issue with 40K. Or a lot of 4K players don't know it's a glaring issue until you get used to it, and then you're just like, really?
Right.
Like,
it's the truth. Yeah, I know. That whole just flip to your war scroll on your iPad thing is so
But
awesome.
how would you do it? Do you just give away the data slates for free, and then you have to pay to unlock the stratagems and relics?
That's what they do for AOS.
They sell the book inside the app, and you get the war scrolls or the data slates that are in it.
Because right now you get all the rules for free anyway.
The rules, but you don't get any of the unit entries.
Yeah. Or formations or whatever. Yeah, so stratagems and items and stuff are unlocked in the... Just like the same thing. You don't get those... You don't get the items and stuff in the app, in the AOS app right now.
That's true.
You have to buy the tome for that.
Yep. So...
And building it using these third-party army builders is...
Well, that's why I like the one that we used, because it's just power level, and it's just super clean with power level. You can do whatever you want, but when you start getting into the...
Yeah, the minute you start drilling down, it becomes...
a little encumbersome.
Just a little.
So, well, maybe they are working on it, and maybe they're running into issues streamlining it. I don't know. But yeah, a 40K app would be pretty tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you hope you don't see in 2018?
Anything that starts with Stormcast.
Okay.
Anything that can beat my Zinch army.
Yeah. God. How about a points increase for just double the cost of everything for Zinch?
That would be.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, the two things that I would absolutely hate to see are Chaos Primaris Marines
Oh, God.
and Chaos Stormcast.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't do that.
Right.
Make Chaos its own unique, fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stick a spike and a top knot on everything and
That's
say,
right.
oh, they
Call
fell
it
to
Chaos.
the Dark Gods.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. We're done with that. That was very 80s, early 90s. Move on.
It's so weird because when you look at some of the different indicators in the fluff, you have Fabius Bile, who's doing everything he can to get his hands on some Primaris Marines so that he can start duplicating it.
Speaking of which, real
Whereas
quick.
at the same time, they're saying that the Primaris can't fall because they're made out of better quality gene seed.
Yeah, I like how some people are throwing a huge fit about how can Belisarius Call make Primaris Marines and improve on the Emperor, blah, 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 blah. But they have no problem with Fabius Bile just cranking out perfected clones of Horus.
Yeah, it's
Like they're Furby dolls or something. Yeah. And then Abaddon has like no problem killing them all.
Yeah, well.
Super down with that.
Sure.
But, a slightly better Marine made by a 10,000-year-old guy who was handed the stuff personally.
Yeah, from the Emperor.
No, bro. No.
Yeah, no. You can't have worked on that.
Whatever.
Sure.
Anyways, my little rant.
Oh, yeah. It's not like we don't have them.
Is there anything else we want to add to the end of the show? Do we want to do a community shout out to anybody? There's nobody worthy of our shout outs.
Wow. Wow. God.
I'll do a quick one if you guys want to throw anything else out. I've been watching a tremendous amount of battle reports on YouTube lately. That's my gaming, as I do it vicariously through other people.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the channels that I watch, obviously Mini Wargaming. If you don't know who they are, check them out. Tabletop Tactics are another one that do fantastic ones. Striking Scorpion 82 is another fantastic show. Grim Resolve is another one I watch. I like all of these because they do a lot of orc battle reports, but the other ones are really good too. They do, all their stuff is painted to a fantastic level. They use gorgeous terrain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of their tables are just ridiculously good. And they're a lot of fun to watch. So, but they're all 40K based. The Age of Sigmar scene is a little thin on the battle report side. So Mini Wargaming does them. I love the Mini Wargaming guys, but they get rules wrong.
They're not AOS people.
No. It can be a little frustrating to watch sometimes. So,
and
the market's ripe for the picking.
Yeah.
It's got to be kind of hard to.
You got to keep painting my armies so that we have more variety, James.
Yeah.
So we can do battle report. Nobody's going to want to watch Iron Jaws get tabled by Tzeentch over and over and over again.
It's true.
I got to quit playing Pokemon Go. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh my God. That game's like so 2016. What a nerd. You going to get on that? I already asked you if you're going to do the Harry Potter Go, huh?
No.
Why not?
I don't like Harry Potter.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were. I could have sworn you liked. Oh, you like Doctor Who, huh?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I like
They all
Lord
look the
Voldemort or whatever, but
yeah.
the real.
You're not supposed to say his name. That's the shtick.
It's like Beetlejuice.
That dumb
Beetlejuice?
Harry Potter killed
Now
him.
we're screwed. Beetlejuice.
Wow, we're petering out here.
I know. Let's end.
Anybody you guys want to shout out?
The only one I could think of would be on YouTube.
Well, it doesn't have to be YouTube, but
Well, I was just gonna say on YouTube there is if you want to build terrain or do all kinds of other crazy stuff on the cheap, there's a channel out there called Luke's APS, Luke's Affordable Paint Service.
okay.
But it's on YouTube as Luke's APS. He's a guy over in England, does really great terrain work, really great stuff. And he does use the high-end products when you have to use them because it's the only thing that works well. But he also shows a lot of workarounds to do different things with your terrain, with your basing, with just about everything. So it's a really great channel to watch. A lot
That's
of
cool.
good stuff on there.
Nice. James, you got anything?
Terry Pike's channel.
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot. So Terry Pike from Facehammer has, he has his own channel.
Right.
And it's under Terry Pike.
Who knew?
And he is starting to release painting videos focusing on airbrushing, right?
Yeah.
I downloaded them and I haven't watched them yet, but Yeah, he has his Sylvaneth.
Yeah, he's
Or is
doing
it
Sylvaneth, Tree Lord.
He's doing a Tree
Yeah.
Lord, yeah.
So check
He's
that
got
out.
two
too.
of them out so far, and they're pretty long. They're pretty in depth.
Yeah. Right on.
Mm-hmm.
So check it out.
So we should probably say Merry Christmas to all.
Yeah.
Should we sing?
I was going to say Happy Holidays, but now we get to say Merry Christmas. It's okay to say it.
That's right. Yeah, we should probably say Happy Holidays to everyone around the world.
Happy Holidays.
Oh, we are going to sing.
No.
Great. I thought we were going to harmonize. Oh,
Yeah.
well. Yeah, but this
George
is going to be...
Bailey. Merry Christmas.
You old shavings and known. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we're not going to record another one before Christmas.
No, I think
So,
there might be a gap between here and the next show just because of...
well, moves and holidays.
Yeah.
And my wife's going in for surgery on Tuesday, so I'm going to be completely out of pocket for a week and a half.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so we'll see y'all on the flip side. We'll
That's
see
right.
what 2018
brings us all.
brings us all.
Have a great holiday, and we are out of here.
We're out of here.
I swear I have
I'm
to
just going to keep
bring
dragging
you-
this on.
I know, but I'm stopping it.
No!